Hey, it's Joe from Train Out of Pain, coming to you with part 3 of why light is more important than food if you have fibromyalgia. Today, we're going to be talking about one of my all-time favorite subjects, something that I have researched extensively, and that is melatonin, probably the second most important hormone in the body. Now, most of you know melatonin as the sleep hormone, but it is much, much deeper than that. So why light versus food when it comes to melatonin? Well, there are actually some foods that you can ingest that do have melatonin. I'd like to reference my wonderful and very sweet great Aunt Pat. A few months ago, she sent me a message and asked me about foods that contain melatonin. And I told her, no, they don't contain melatonin. Why? Because then she's going to try to consume them even more. It's not that they don't have melatonin in them, it's that they don't have enough melatonin for it to actually impact your levels. So if we're looking at melatonin, we're not going to get it from food. We got to get it from the actual right source, which is sunlight, not supplementation. We're going to talk about that too. So with supplementation, I have a huge problem with melatonin supplementation. It supposedly, purportedly, is one of the safest and most effective supplements out there, but I can tell you from my own personal experience, I found no success with supplementing from melatonin. There's a lot of people that I've talked to who are in the same boat. Now, there's also some people that get great effect from that melatonin. Here is the downside. If you supplement at a high dosage with melatonin, you can actually tear your retina. There's a couple of research papers that I'll be citing in my book about this. Really fascinating stuff, and you never want to mess with your eyes. Another part of that is if you're supplementing with melatonin, regardless of the dosage, you are actually ingesting more melatonin than your body can actually produce from the pineal gland. And that's a huge problem. We usually produce anywhere up to 0.3 milligrams on our own, and most supplementation of melatonin is either at like 5 or 10 milligrams or even sometimes higher. And that's a huge, huge problem because you basically just broke that coupled system within your body. If you're supposed to make something, you probably shouldn't be taking that same thing. My biggest issue when it comes to fibromyalgia and chronic illness is that people are always looking for the cure. They're never looking for the underlying cause. That is what I do. And that's what I do really, really well. And that's what I've done for myself. And that's why I am symptom-free for about 19 months now, because I looked at all the underlying causes instead of looking for a cure. So with melatonin, it's pretty common with people with fibromyalgia to have melatonin deficiency as well as a vitamin D deficiency. There's a lot of research on this stuff. And I think that we should be getting all these compounds naturally the way that we are designed to do that. So when it comes to melatonin, how can we get it naturally? Well, we get it from the sun. You guys hear me talk about the sun all the time, and there's many, many reasons why. But if you go outside during the daytime when there's ultraviolet A in the atmosphere, usually sometime around 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., if you just go outside, you don't have to look at the sun, you don't have to be facing the sun. If you're just outside, you can actually build up your melatonin stores. How do you do that? Well, you go outside, you have as much skin exposed as possible. Roll up your sleeves, pull up your pant legs, take off hats, take off your sunglasses, take out your contacts, because we also want to make sure that you're getting that light through your eye as well. So if you wear sunglasses, take them off when you're outside at that time. You want to build those melatonin stores. If you wear contacts, take them out. You want to build those melatonin stores. If you wear glasses, put them down to the end of your nose so you can get that light through your eyes so that you can build up that melatonin. The longer you are outside, the more melatonin that you will build up. So why is that important for you if you have fibromyalgia? Because it'll help you sleep. That's what everybody's going to think. Maybe. There's usually some other underlying issues when it comes to sleep deprivation and sleep issues with fibromyalgia. But looking at your melatonin levels and getting them optimized can help. But melatonin has many, many other jobs besides being the sleep hormone, and pretty darn important ones too. So what are some of the other jobs that melatonin does? I have spoke with many people who have fibromyalgia who are really intolerant to temperature, whether it be hot or cold. Guess what melatonin controls? Yes, your sensitivity or your ability to regulate temperature. Huge if you have any temperature sensitivities. It is also anti-cancer. They're actually using melatonin to treat different cancers in hospitals these days. The research is out there. It's pretty extraordinary. Um, Melatonin has one very big job when it comes to fibromyalgia outside of sleep, and that is due to mitochondria. I've talked about mitochondria in this series a couple days ago. If you have fibromyalgia, you have a mitochondrial dysfunction, and we need to improve and optimize your mitochondria. So, what does melatonin have to do with that? Melatonin controls cell death and cell repair within your mitochondria. So if you are not concentrating on optimizing melatonin levels, you will not optimize your mitochondria, and that is a huge problem. You're only going to get worse. So, as usual, I encourage you guys to research this stuff for yourself. There's a massive amount of information on melatonin, whether it be for fibromyalgia or cancer or mitochondria. You can go to PubMed, drop in melatonin, and mitochondria, melatonin, fibromyalgia, all these different things. And there's a ton of research that you can read to enlighten yourself. If you have any questions, you have any comments, please send them to me down below. You can also send me a message if you're not comfortable commenting. I love talking about this subject especially. So let me know what you guys think. Hopefully you're finding some great value and getting some different information from this series. These are all of the exact things that I have used to heal myself. Light truly is more important than food if you have fibromyalgia. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.